Thank you for watching this short presentation about the Ellucian Ethos Integration system. Ellucian Ethos Integration is a key core component of the Ethos platform. You can see it here on the top row of basic embedded important parts of the Ethos platform, along with Ethos Identity and Ethos Data Model. And I think it's important to talk about the Ethos Data Model as we talk about Ethos Integration, because these two components really play together to make sure that the other applications built on the platform really work and talk and communicate in a very smooth way. So while this presentation isn't exactly about the Ethos data model, I just real quickly want to say that the data model helps solve one of our biggest challenges in higher education, to get various systems and the data from those systems communicating with each other. It helps cull data from various applications, both Ellucian and third-party applications. We worked with customers, we worked with partners to help define this common standard definition of objects and resources that can be passed between and amongst applications using the Ethos integration system. We're seeing a ton of excitement from our client base and our partners as well when we talk about the data model and we talk about integration, because it helps alleviate so much pain that we see on campuses around the world when we're trying to get these different applications to talk to each other. And I really think something that's important to take away from this is that this is not just an Ellucian application data model, but it was and still is, a collaborative effort between our clients, various partners in the higher education community, to make sure that this common definition of resources made sense for everybody. Now, because we have the ability to define data in a common way, all the applications that plug into the Ethos integration system can understand each other. Because we're all speaking the same language, because we're using a common definition of resources, because we're using a standard way of talking to these web service endpoints to pass data back and forth through the Ethos integration system, we're making sure that that data flows seamlessly between all the applications, whether they be Ellucian applications, partner solutions, other third-party solutions, applications that you've developed, that are specific and unique for you, in your institution. When you're dealing with systems that can't talk to each other, it's just very difficult to scale those applications and those solutions to meet the rapidly changing needs of students, faculty, and staff. So the Ellucian Ethos integration system works because of that Ethos data model that has a single common definition of resources that we're passing back and forth. And we're not having to translate that, in real time between these systems that are plugged into the Ethos integration system. It validates the data that is coming in from authoritative applications for certain data models, and then we route those pieces of data to the various applications that are defined as consumers, applications that want to get that particular data. The learning management system may want certain information about persons and courses and terms, but it may not necessarily care about financial aid related data. The bookstore may not necessarily care about grade information, but it definitely wants to care and wants to consume information about persons and maybe the fact that they have financial aid, or that they've got some sort of scholarship that allows them to apply that resource to the books that they need for a particular term. So the Ellucian Ethos integration allows you to very easily administer and define what applications get plugged into the system, what resources they're authoritative for, what resources they want to consume, as well as how they can talk to the various other APIs should they need to ask specific questions. Let's take a quick look at the administrative console for Ethos integration, and then a little quick demo on publishing information and consuming information through Ethos integration. So I'm going to start out in our Ellucian Ethos system. This is the same place where you would go to get to eCommunities and the support center. I'm going to get into my demo environment for Ellucian Ethos integration. The admin console gives me a nice little dashboard of what sort of applications are plugged in and consuming some information, some resources, how many messages are currently waiting for those applications, how many have been received by the applications, how many have been confirmed, and how many have fallen into an unconfirmed state. Down here looks like my CS building subscriber system, which is a totally fake application in my demo environment. But it looks like right now there's no messages waiting for it. I have in the past consumed 3,200 messages, but we don't have anything waiting for it right now. So I'm going to go into Banner self-service. Now, this could just as easily be a colleague application, a learning management system, a library application, any application that is considered an authoritative source for certain resources. And in my case, in my demo environment, I've got a Banner system set up to be authoritative for person information. So I'm going to take a look at my mailing address, and let's make a change for my street address. Instead of 123 Fishing Pond, we'll just change that to 123 Fishing Lake. I'll submit that change. As this change gets persisted to Banner, we've got triggers set up within the eventing system to publish that information out to Ethos integration. So if I come back into my administrative dashboard, I should see a few messages waiting for me. Looks like I've got 4 of them. If I click on that real quick, I can see that these are all 4 person-related messages. They all came in within a matter of seconds of each other. And they're waiting to be consumed by my fake application. So I'm going to use an application called Postman. That's a web service mock-up type app to be my pretend consuming application. I'm going to authenticate, and now I'm going to receive some messages. So it looks like when I make a web service call into Ethos integration, I get a JSON string back that says, here's I've got let's just check this out. We should have 4 messages, unless another one published while we were waiting. So we've got 4 messages, and we'll just look at one of these. Message ID 3350. It is a person's resource. And if I look at this mailing address that got pushed across, we can see that it's 123 Fishing Lake, where originally it was 123 Fishing Pond. And along with that, common definition of what a person object is, we've got some credentials that get passed as part of that. We've got some marital status and ethnicities and names and whatnot. But what we really wanted to see there was that we made a change within an authoritative application. We, in very real time sort of way, we processed and created an event where we published that change information to Ethos integration. It was routed to my various applications that care about persons, and then I could make a web service call and consume that. So if I had a real application here that was a consuming app, it would have some sort of a timer on it that would every now and then, maybe every 5 seconds or whatever made sense, would reach out to Ethos integration and consume whatever messages might be waiting for it. Okay, and so if I come back, let's make one more quick call that says we consumed all of these messages so that we can see our administrative dashboard freshen up. So we've got 0 messages waiting for that building subscriber application, and we're now up to 3207 as far as messages that have been received and consumed by that system. All right, so we took a quick look at the administrative dashboard, publishing a change out of an authoritative source, consuming that change from the Ethos integration system. You see that the Ethos integration system provides a very standard mechanism for these various applications to exchange data using the Ethos data model. Ethos data model provides a common language definition of those resources. Ethos integration has RESTful-based endpoints passing data using JSON strings, which is a very modern, common way, very human readable if you want to look at those messages. Very easy to take advantage of way to have these applications communicating through Ethos integration. With the administrative interface, we've got a very nice responsive application that allows us to configure data flows so that we can say who is authoritative and can publish particular data models or resources and who can consume those resources. We have data being exchanged in a very real-time or near real-time basis between these different systems. And this is something that is really built specifically for higher education. The data model is built for higher education. This integration smart hub system is built for higher education. And we've taken advantage of, our partnerships with various vendors and our, very large client base to make sure that this system meets your needs for scalable, easy to integrate platforms for your future and on your campus. So if you want to find out anything more about Ethos integration, I encourage you to get access to resources.elluciancloud.com through the Okta system. You also can visit the Ellucian Ethos platform community on our eCommunity site. Both of those URLs are on the screen now. Thanks for taking a few moments to watch this very short presentation about Ellucian Ethos integration.